Are you a vegetarian, or maybe just prefer baking to cooking, and would like something to make that shows your devotion to NBC's Hannibal? Well, today, I have the perfect recipe for you. I'm taking this recipe from Feeding Hannibal, the Hannibal Cookbook by Janice Poon, and we're going to be making cookies inspired by James Gray's mural, The Muralist. I'm really excited. We're going to be baking today, so let's just get right into it. I hope you enjoyed today's cooking video because once again, I'm Hannibal Lecter and you're going to be a baker, and today we're going to be making Muralist inspired cookies. Starting with the ingredients for the ginger cookies, we're going to need half a cup of butter softened at room temperature, half a cup of brown sugar, 2/3 of a cup of molasses, 1 egg, 3½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of ginger, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now that we know our ingredients, let's just get right into making our ginger cookies. So starting off here, I have a nice big bowl, and we're going to start by putting our butter and our brown sugar together into this bowl. So here I have my ½ cup of butter. Look, you can see that. And I'm just going to... I didn't think this through, did I? I'm going to end up getting this out with a spoon, but we're just going to be putting our ½ cup of butter right into the bowl. As you see, it's not coming out. I'll be right back. So I got my handy spoon here, and we're just gonna, bam, look at that. So now that we have our butter in the bowl, we're going to move on and put our brown sugar in here. I already measured out my brown sugar in this little bowl because I figured it doesn't make good content for you to watch me struggle to get this out of a bag. It's in there now though, so that's behind us. So we're just going to combine these two together with a fork. You know, nice classic baking using a fork to stir things. Sometimes when I'm watching NBC Hannibal, I wonder, you know, Hannibal is an old man. How did he live so long? It's not like he has a balanced diet. He eats just meat and maybe a vegetable every once in a while. That's not enough food groups. I guess, like, chasing people counts as physical activity. But is it really? You know, I want to talk to Hannibal Lecter and ask him, what's the deal? What's the secret to your everlasting life, sir? It shouldn't be eating people. But maybe it is. Who knows? Not me. Alright, so as you can see from my fork, it's all mixed up. And now we're going to be putting our egg and our molasses in here and mixing that in as well. So we got our nice little egg here. I like live off eggs. I have so many eggs in my house all the time because I eat eggs for breakfast, like every day. But look at that. That's one more egg that I've just used. Plop that in the garbage. Why am I telling you to throw stuff out? You should know this. I'm assuming you're not children. And now we're on to our molasses. So, I don't think... Yeah, this is an unopened package. I don't think I've actually ever cooked with molasses before. And, you know, I've heard, oh man, that molasses is slow. You know, everyone knows that molasses is slow. But how slow? Am I going to have to time-lapse this? No. No, this is a lot faster than I thought it would be. It is a bit slow, I'm not gonna lie to you, but, whoa! Bam. Molasses moment. Sometimes when I'm pouring liquids into a bowl, I like to make little designs at the bottom. This is, in fact, my design. He said it, he said the Hannibal thing. Well, I sure did. Alright. Got another one of these bad boys, because this is only 1/3 of a cup measurement. Because who just carries around 2/3 of a cup measuring materials? I don't know, not me. This is so much molasses. I don't even know how molasses tastes. It kind of looks like syrup, but also, I drank liquid smoke that you put on meat in like the 8th grade. So now anything that is like dark and viscous, I feel like it might be liquid smoke, so I'm really hesitant to just try it. I guess we'll find out later. Alright, so now that we have our molasses, I'm just going to put this away. I'm just going to put it aside, and I'm going to finish stirring this in, you know? That looks nice. I've mixed all my molasses in. It's looking... It sure is looking. It's like kind of sparkly, which is weird. I'm not going to address that. But it kind of looks appetizing. I'm not going to try it because I'm a little bit afraid of molasses. But I don't know. So for now we're just going to put this bowl with the liquids aside, and we're going to start working on the dry ingredients. So I have my flour here in the bowl, and now we're going to go back to my first Hannibal video, and we're going to do some sifting. Luckily this time we just have like a couple teaspoons of stuff to sift, so maybe it won't take me 15 minutes of time-lapsing. Hopefully. Shout out my homie the sifter. It's on there. So first we're going to get our 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I never knew how to get baking soda to get out of the box nicely. I don't know, that's just always slipped my mind. I'm a cook first, not a baker. And once you have your teaspoon, just sift it in there. Just really get sifting, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, get it, I guess. Alright, so that's all sifted in. That was quick. And we're gonna go get another teaspoon, but now we're gonna get a teaspoon of cinnamon. Look at this. From my last video, I got a whole new container of cinnamon. This looks so much better than my last container of cinnamon. I almost forgot what almost fresh cinnamon looks like. So I've adjusted my teaspoon measurement to approximately how much fell in the bowl. But I'm just going to put the rest in there. And look at that. Sift through so quickly. Why did my cocoa take so long that one time to sift? That was horrible. I'm so glad that has never happened ever again. Alright, so the last thing we need to sift is our ginger. So yeah, I'll just do that. This container is one of those where there's like 2 sides that are there, and both sides are the holes. They don't have any like non-hole side, which is horrible for putting stuff in. But that's not my problem. Because I just, bam. Look at that, check it out, more sifting. So we just got 1 more of those. And then we'll be good. This will be our dry ingredients. Alright, second one. And look at that. We're all good to go. Getting back our trusty fork, just kind of like stir the ingredients together. It's not like we're going to be keeping them in this bowl. It's going to be going back into the liquids bowl. But just, you know, distribution of flavor or whatever. Flour. Alright, so now we're going to put our dry ingredients into the molasses home and just stir it well. I'm going to be doing it like, I wouldn't say a little at a time, but like half at a time, just to make it easier for me to stir. This is smelling really good so far. It really does smell like gingerbread cookies, because that's exactly what we're making. Right, I'll get the other half in here. Oh yeah. Once it starts getting a bit hard to stir around with your fork, just put your hands in it. Get those hands dirty. This is baking. You should have no clean hands. My favorite part of editing these videos is just the massive amount of dead space that I cut out. It's a little bit funny, not gonna lie. Alright, so once you got a ball that looks something like this, you might feel like it has a bit of a weird texture to like normal cookies. But I swear to you, I'm giving you the ingredients to a T. This is what it's supposed to look like. If it's a bit sticky, just add more flour. But once you got this ball, we're gonna cover it in plastic wrap, and then we're gonna throw it in the refrigerator for like an hour. Okay, I got my little ball, and we're just gonna throw them in the fridge and leave them there for an hour. But while we wait for this, we're gonna work on the vanilla cookie part. Alright, so now moving on to the vanilla part. The recipe is more or less the same, but I'll tell you the ingredients that you'll need for this part. You're going to need another half cup of butter softened at room temperature, a quarter cup of brown sugar this time, half a cup of regular sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 3/4 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoons of salt. Alrighty, so we're back again with our half cup of butter, and like last time, we're just gonna put that bad boy into the bowl. Look at that, and it came out in one piece this time. Very nice. And then we're gonna get our sugars. So now that we have our quarter cup of brown sugar, pour that in there. Look, easy as that. Then we got our half cup of regular normal sugar. It's also in the bowl. Sugar is all the same, you know? It all goes in the bowl at the end of the day. And our good old fork is back, once again, mixing, as it does best. And would you look at that, it's all mixed up in there. So, we're gonna do kind of the same thing that we did last time, and we're gonna slap our egg in here. So we got our good old trusty egg. Bam, all done. And now we're going to put our vanilla extract in here as well. And there we go, our little teaspoon. Very nice. And we're just gonna stir that up like we did last time. Alright, so it's all mixed and smooth at the bottom here. We're going to put this aside again and bring back our dry ingredients bowl. So we'll start off with our 1 3/4 cup of flour, first into our dry ingredients bowl. 1, 2, 3/4. There we go. Next we have our baking powder, which is surprisingly an entirely different thing than baking soda. Alright, and there's actually less dry ingredients with the vanilla cookie, so all we gotta do now is put our 1/4 teaspoon of salt in. Honestly, a 1/4 teaspoon is so small, I'm just like eyeballing it, and I'm essentially just gonna do a few shakes of this. Well, I guess it would be rotations. A few rotations of this, and that's it, really. So we did a few of these, and that should be about a 1/4 teaspoon. I don't even have a 1/4 teaspoon measurement because that's so small. So just eyeball it, really. We got our fork again, just mix it around a bit. There's not much in here, so we're just pretty much going to go right ahead and add this to the butter mixture. Alright. Would you look at that? It's in there. And just stir it around like we did the other one. Once again, when it gets to that point in the mixing process, just use your hands, put the fork aside. It'll be better that way. Alright, so now we got our second little cookie bowl. We're going to be covering this as well and throwing it in the fridge with its gingerbread brethren. And we're just going to leave them both there for an hour just to sit. Alright, so now that both of them are wrapped up, they're both going to sit in the fridge, and then we're going to be back. So I'll see you in an hour.
1 hour later.
Hello, it's been an hour, and I'm back. And this is cold now. Also, at this point you're going to want to get a little cookie cutter that's a gingerbread man, and a pie tin, because that's what we're going to need to make the actual bowl part of the cookie bowl. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to take this guy out of his plastic prison, and we're going to lightly flour the surface we're going to be working on, and we're going to be rolling this out This is me lightly flouring my surface. Yum. And now I free him. Mmm, yummy. Nice, cold, hard ball of molasses mix. Alright, so now that we have our ball on our lightly floured surface and we have our rolling pin, just gonna roll it out. Yeah, I guess. And you're gonna roll it out to be quarter inch thick? Let me check. Oh, 8 inch. Eighth of an inch thick. And I'm gonna pretend that I know what an eighth of an inch looks like. Because to be honest, I don't really. Oh yeah, it's getting rolled out in here. So once you have what may or may not be an eighth of an inch, we're gonna start cutting out little homies. So, oh look at that. I have a pretty small cutout thing. Oh my goodness. Mine are only this big. I accidentally kind of decapitated this guy, but that's fine. And what we're going to do, we're going to take, oh, I fully decapitated him. We're going to take him, and we're going to kind of put him on the side like that, because we're going to be making a bowl. And we're going to be alternating every other color, because, you know, we're basing this on the Muralist. And he was all about color coordination. If you really want to be true to the Hannibal franchise, you're going to want to put the white on the outside and the gingerbread on the inside. Oh yeah, look at our little man. Our little fella. After a bit of trial and error with my guys falling apart, I found they don't fall apart as much if you cut it out like this and then push it out of the mold. Then he stays intact and everything is cool and fun and great. I'm kind of at the point here where they're all like evenly spaced for the white ones to go in between them. But we're going to take all this and you can either continue cutting them out and make another cookie bowl, or you can just use the cookie dough for another recipe later. So that's up to you. Now we're going to continue to use our lightly floured surface, but now we're going to get our vanilla ball. I just like acting violently towards these balls. Don't worry about it. Alrighty then, let's get rolling. I love the first stage of rolling this out, which is literally just crushing it. You know, you just gotta crush it and hope for the best. And I think that's what all baking's like. If you really think about it. So once you've rolled out this one, we're gonna start cutting little guys out of these. Oh no. Hey, a little decapitation never hurt anybody much. Okay, we're gonna push this guy out. Look at that, comes out nice and whole, no breakage. And when you put him in next to his ginger brethren, you want to overlap their hands and their feet like that and just press them together. Because that's what's gonna create the structural integrity of your bowl. It's really just merging them, you know? And yeah, maybe their limbs might get a little flattened, but if there's one thing James Gray knew, it was that, you know, your artistic vision requires a little bit of crushed limbs. Oh yeah, look at this, it's coming along. We do have some crushed limbs, but overall, it's looking pretty nice. I think a lot of these are just going to turn out like vaguely human shaped, but you know what? It's the thought that counts. If you have a bigger, like, gingerbread maker and a bigger... His foot fully fell off right there. But if you have a bigger, like, gingerbread cutout thing, you'll probably get better results than I did. His whole leg fell off that time. Oh man, hello, James Gray, is this you? If it is, I just crushed it. I just crushed him. So, alright, this guy, not falling apart. Nice. Alright, we're almost done. So once you have the outer edge, if there's still some room at the center, you're just gonna like crush this little guy's head into the feet, like that, and you're gonna just kind of fill the bottom a little bit. Doesn't have to be fully filled, but just a little bit with some more little guys. And just like Hannibal Lecter, if you've got to fit someone in here, don't be afraid to rip off a couple legs. I actually, for the sake of being true to the source, ripped off the white guy's leg right here. This guy's James Gray, and I'm going to eat him first. So once you have your bowl, we're going to preheat the oven to 350, and then we're going to cook this for 10 minutes. So I'll see you in 10 minutes.
11 minutes later.
Alright, it's been 10 minutes. Our cookie bowl is done, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to take it out of the oven. Alright, so this exists and is a dish. So we're going to leave it out, we're going to let it cool for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to kind of like shake it and make sure it's loose, because, you know, the goal is for it to be a bowl. But after the 5 minutes, and once you've shook it, you're going to let it cool down fully for the rest of the time it takes to cool before we're going to decorate it. Hey, guess how long it's been? It's been 5 minutes. It's time to shake it. First, you're going to want to get your protective little gloves. You don't want to burn your hands. Would Hannibal burn his hands cooking? No, he wouldn't. And I'm Hannibal Lecter, so I'm not going to do that. Look at that. I didn't really shake it as I more just kind of jostled it. But you know, the theory is there. This is not stuck to the bottom. If I really shake it hard, it moves. But this is not stuck to the bottom, and that's good to know. So we're gonna leave it, and we're gonna come back at some point when that's fully cooled down. I don't know, keep touching it until it's cool, I guess. Don't do that, don't do that. That was a joke, okay? Just use your brain. Come back when it's cool. Thank you.
12 seconds later.
Hey, so, that's not cool yet. But you know what is cool? Icing. So I got some icing in here, and I got a little piping bag. So while I'm waiting for that to cool, I'm going to be pouring this icing in here so that I can add decoration to those little homes. Why I used a fork for this? I don't know, but I did, and I have to live with that decision. Alright, icing enjoyers, I'm just pouring this bad boy in there, really. Isn't this riveting content? Isn't this what you signed up for? It should have been. Alright, now I have a spoon, which is actually a good piece of cutlery that you use for liquids, and I just spilled that everywhere. Baking is my passion. Bam, get in there. Alright, so once you have the icing in the bag, you're gonna like come from the top here, and you're gonna like pull it down. You're gonna wanna pull, and if you have any like at the top, you can just kind of open the bag back up and put any of the stuff just inside. If this is getting a bit messy, like you have like stuff at the top, feel free to use a towel so that you know that. Yeah, there we go. Not getting icing all over your hands while you're trying to do this. If you do this process over the same bowl that you actually got the icing out of, can't really see the icing thing. I'm a professional YouTuber, guys, I swear. Yeah, look at that. All the icing's getting down to the bottom. And then you're gonna like just kind of fold it down until you get to the spot where your icing starts to build up. So you've got pressure, you know? But yeah, so now our icing is ready for when that cools, because then we can do cool, fun designs on it. Also, just a fun fact about this icing thing. I've never used it before, and also it's from 1994. Do with that information what you will. Alright, so finally, these little homies they're cool. So just take them out and look at that. We got a bowl. We got a bowl as it was intended to be. This is wonderful. I'm actually surprised that they didn't either stick to the bowl or completely fall apart as soon as I took them out. But everything is fine. However, I may have misjudged how thick an 1/8 of an inch is, because this is a lot thicker than an 1/8 of an inch. But hey, it's still cool and it's still gonna taste great. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of decorate this, and I think it's gonna be really great. Alright, so it turns out I have no idea how to decorate cookies. But that's fine. Everything's fine, and everything's cool, and everything's chill. I'll get this done. We're getting there. Alright, so I gave them all little X's over their eyes because they're dead. Low-key though, I'm incredibly proud of this. I think it turned out really well, and I hope yours turned out as well as I did. Even if they aren't like pretty, I'm sure they're gonna taste great. Alright, so I'm gonna try this, and in honor of our man Hannibal Lecter, I'm gonna go rip off James Gray's other leg, and I'm gonna try it. This is some really good stuff. Wow. These are definitely some good cookies. This is a good recipe. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say. This turned out well, even though I made them a bit too thick. Still like them, and they still taste great. And you can definitely give this to your family and friends as just disguised as normal cookies. But you know what they are. We know what they are. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is a vegetarian thing, so all you non-meat eaters out there, or bakers, hope you like this, and you know, have it be a nice break from my usual meat eating content. If you like this video, please like it. You know, give me a comment telling me if you want to see more non-meat items. And if you want to see more videos like this, or any of my other videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification, because otherwise my videos are very hit or miss about whether they get views. So if you want to make sure you see one of my videos, hit the notification bell. But that's all I have for today. Once again, hope you enjoyed the cookies, and I'm out.